Ever wonder how Amazonians replenish their population? After all, there are no men on Themyscira or Paradise Island or whichever name you prefer, and depending on what era of comics you're reading, either all Amazonian women are immortal or they can die or they live extremely prolonged lives, but still we've seen female children on the island of Themyscira at different times throughout its history, so the question remains, how do Amazonian women procreate without men? Well, they don't. They need men. At least according to Wonder Woman Volume 4, Issue number 7, which tried to create a backstory for how exactly Themyscira maintains a population. And it's a little aggressive, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, in this week's comic book recap and review. Issue number 7 begins in Florence, Italy. Two men are having an argument outside of a nightclub with obvious romantic implications. However, the man who is walking away is named Eros, and he is armed, and scolds the other, telling him he got what he wanted, and then pulls a gun out to emphasize his need to be left alone. Eros is a demigod. At this moment, Wonder Woman, Hermes, and Lennox arrive. They request that Eros help them. They need a favor from him. And we also find out that Hermes is also Eros' uncle. Now, in previous issues, Wonder Woman lost her friend Zola to the Shadow World while in conflict and war with Hera, Zeus's wife. Now, in order to retrieve Zola from the Shadow World, they'll need new weapons from the Smith, and he does not like having guests, except Eros can give them all access to his lair. Eros agrees to help him, and he brings them into a jewelry shop, only to move through to the back door, and through that door into the hollowed-out caverns of Mount Etna, home of the Smith. The Smith is actually Hephaestus, ancient Greek god of fire, volcanoes, forges, and blacksmithing. He is also a son of Zeus, and the one who crafted Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Hephaestus questions Wonder Woman's motives for warring with Zeus's wife, as she is also Zeus's daughter. But then he makes the comment that I guess she's just displaying typical behavior for that family. Now, since Zola is in the Shadow World, in other words, she's in Hell, and Wonder Woman is planning on attacking to save her friend, Hell spits out an abomination from Mount Etna's lava pit to stop the coming intrusion. The fiery beast attacks Hephaestus. Wonder Woman uses water to douse its flames and her lasso to defeat it, but in the attack, members of Hephaestus' crew were killed. He asked the others to prepare their bodies to be added to the Forge's fire as part of their funeral rites. Now, Wonder Woman is stunned by this, believing the workers were all automated machines created by Hephaestus. This is when Eros and Hephaestus tell Wonder Woman, finally, that all these men are her brothers. They are the male children of the Amazons. Wonder Woman does not understand this at first, and then Hephaestus asks her if she's ever thought why she only has sisters, to which Wonder Woman replies she believes it to be divine intervention from the gods. Then Hephaestus reveals to Diana that 3 times a century, her people go on raids, like pirates. They take to the sea looking for mortal ships and mortal vessels. When they find one of these ships, they board them, and they have their way with the men, which must seem like a dream to them. The most beautiful of women offering themselves up for physical pleasure. But then that dream quickly becomes a nightmare because when they're finished using the men, they drain their life and throw their bodies overboard. The Amazons will then return in triumphant celebration to Paradise Island and wait the 9 months. After those 9 months, some celebrate the birth of a daughter, but the ones who have sons have those babies taken from them to be slaughtered, to be tossed alive into the raging sea. Those children are considered failures. Hephaestus, in an effort to save these babies, trades weapons for the male offspring. They become the men who work his forge and help create all of his weapons. Wonder Woman initially believes that these men are captured slaves and that what Hephaestus is doing to them is wrong. She does not see the compassion in his acts. So she asks Lennox to help her capture Hephaestus and free the slaves of his forge. She sneaks into Hephaestus' bedroom at night, beats him, throws his body before his workers, and cries out for her brothers, a word she's never used before, to rise up as warriors. But their response is just as shocking to Diana as the story of how they were born. They ask for Hephaestus, their master, their adoptive father, to be released. They tell her that she is making a horrible mistake, that if it was not for him, all of them would be tossed into the tide, to drown, unloved, as Hephaestus' mother did to him when he was born, only he was lucky enough to survive. They tell Wonder Woman that Hephaestus wanted them, he raised them, he gave them the opportunity to become artists in their work, and that they are happy. Upon hearing this, Wonder Woman releases Hephaestus. He tells her it's okay and that she should get some rest, for tomorrow she enters Hell to fight for her friend. Our last panel is that of Wonder Woman breaking down in tears as the Sons of the Forge help their adoptive father back to his bed, and Wonder Woman realizes just how dark and tragic her people at times can be. And that is one of the ways in which DC Comics addressed the question, how do Amazons reproduce? What do you think? An interesting story? Or one that crosses a line of morality and good taste? Let me know in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this recap. If you want more comic book fun, click on the link in the description for my Welcome to the Comicverse playlist. And if you like this video, consider hitting the like and subscribe and sharing it out. It really helps out the channel. I thank you for watching, and remember, I'm still your reluctant gringo, and from south of the border, salud and a huevo.